Okay. Okay, everyone, welcome to MIT Chief 2013 Business Plan Contest finale today. My name is Jiayuan Luo. I'm the VP of Business Plan Contest.
And my name is Jingjing Chai. I'm the program director of this team. Jiayuan, are you feel excited?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I was actually here. I was here last year to do the same thing for the 2012 business plan contest. It's really great to see lots of old friends coming back and a lot of new faces really interested and engaged in entrepreneurship.
Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. So first of all, we would love to welcome our also VP of Contest, Zhifei Ge, to introduce this year's business plan contest.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm VP of the contest team. I've been working in MIT for the last 2 years. So I'm going to give you an overview of the business plan contest in 2013. And so first, let's share with you what's business plan contest. So our mission of the business plan contest. We, as an organization in MIT, we try to engage MIT in a broad ecosystem of US-China entrepreneurship. MIT is excellent in entrepreneurship, and we are doing better. And we try to equip US entrepreneurs with resources from China, and we nurture Chinese entrepreneurs with immersing their startups into the US market. So here's a timeline of what we are doing and we are going to do in the year 2013 and 2014. We are right now halfway through this year's programs. So we have run a few co-founder days, workshop series, and we have run the business plan contest since July, and now it's the finale. And remember, we have demo day in April. And here is the statistics about what we have done this year. So in this year, we have 119 qualified entrants in the first round. They are from different spectrum of industry, and they are from all over the world. Half of them are from Massachusetts, but half of them are outside Massachusetts, including 15% from outside of the United States. We actually have one from China presenting today. And our winner in the clean tech is Zara Power Corporation from MIT. And from healthcare, it's television from Indiana Purdue University. In product service check, we have Bailey Logistics from Michigan, University of Michigan. In social impact, we have Green Earth Environmental Technology. It's from Chengdu, China. And in the web IT check, we have Founders Link from Harvard, mobile CRM system from MIT. So we have a very good representative of entrepreneurs in the United States and China. And in parallel, we are running an exclusive program as a mentorship program. We are creating this for top selected entrepreneurs who are ready to roll up their sleeves and kickstart their promising businesses. It's a one-year program. We have special coordinates to match entrepreneurs and investors in the industry experts. This year we have mentees, Naval Education and Berry Logistics, Yoran Wonderland, and Hermes. Actually, they are doing great. Hermes is on its way to Y Combinator. We have 50+ mentors. They are from all over the world. And they are very nice to help startups, and they are doing great. So what's our vision? So we, as an organizer in MIT Chief, we observe ideas into reality, and we really help staff do more faster. Okay, that's, thanks for coming to the finale.
Okay, so before we kick off the presentation of the 6 finalist teams, we would like to welcome our honorable judges today who make the effort and trip here. And as you may see, from various diversified industry backgrounds. Some of are experienced VC investors, some are from experts in related industry or professors. So Jiayuan would like to start to introduce them.
And so let's join me to welcome our judge, Greg Fairbrother. Greg from Dartmouth University School of Business.
Next is Miss Anna Fang from Gen Fund.
Next one is Patrick Hale from MIT.
Miss Ying Li from Yunfeng Capital.
Next one, Liu Yong from Baidu.
Miss Michael Ming Kwan from Z Park Ventures.
Mr. Salome Kinito from Hans Price.
Miss Alan Song from SoftBank China VC Capital.
Mr. Jingling Wang from Answers Venture Advisor. Antique.
Mrs. Elaine Wong from HAO Capital.
Mr. Eugene Zhang from InnoSpring.
Mr. Jing Xu from MIT.
Mr. Min Zhang from Empower Investment.
Thank you for our judges again. And next is the list of all the 6 teams who are finalists here today. The team from the clean tech track is Czar Power Corporation from MIT.
The team from healthcare is Television from Indiana University.
The team for product and service track is Berry Logistics.
And the one from social impact is Green Earth Environment Technology from Chengdu, China.
It's a long trip. The next is the team from Web IT track, Founders Link from Harvard.
The last but not the least, wildcard winner, a mobile CRM team from MIT.
So now let's briefly introduce our rules today. Every team will have 8 minutes to do your presentation. Then we'll have 5 minutes for Q&A session. Last but not the least, our judges are welcome to give up some comments but just for 1 minute. And our judges will have one iPad, which you can see the Google form that you can use for judging. The rate is from 1 to 10, and there will be 5 criteria to rate. We will take the average score, and that will be the team score at the very end.
And we will have different prizes for today. The biggest is going to be the $10,000 US for the first prize winner. And we will have the second prize will go to the second 2 team. We'll have 3,000 each. The third one will go for the last 3, which will be $1,500 each. And also, thanks for InnoSpring, we also have like a special award from InnoSpring, which will be an incubator scholarship with them in Silicon Valley.
Okay, so now we'll start our presentation.
As everyone just heard in Dixon's talk, right? For the next generation, the electric car is the next hybrid car. And so, but everybody is curious, like, how can we charge? Can we charge it fast? Can we charge it environmental friendly? Let's come and hear about our finalist team from Clean Technology, Czar Power Investment, to talk about their project. Czar Power, please.
Thank you for that intro. Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Balo from Czar Power, and we're going to be talking to you today about the electric vehicle industry. Now, the electric vehicle is not anything new. It's actually almost been around for almost 200 years. But certain technological drawbacks have kept the electric car from really becoming a really mainstream technology. And now we are really coming into an age where the technology is maturing and coming to a price point where electric vehicles are able to be marketed to the mass consumer. And we are hoping to address today one of these issues that focuses in DC charging. Our company proposes to develop a compact, efficient, and very low-cost DC charging system for the home application that has a wide application on many different grid structures, ranging from single-phase to three-phase power, enabling it to be used in the European, Asian, and US markets. The technology is founded and backed by Tsinghua University and MIT engineers. Now, just in the past few years, we've seen a truly incredible growth in the automotive market, especially on the electric vehicle side. As you can see by the little lightning bolt, that's sort of where we are right now. We're just at the beginning of truly an electric vehicle revolution that we're going to be seeing in the next coming decades. Current sales this year range in $58 billion for electric vehicles, which is a tremendous increase over just the past few years when the EV industry itself was barely existent. Stock projections for global electric vehicle stock by 2020, we're looking at projections of up to 20 million electric vehicles on the road by then, with most major auto corporations endorsing electric vehicles, and we have some of the largest corporations such as Volkswagen, who plans to become a market leader in electric vehicles and is planning on introducing 14 models next year. Now, one big question is, how do you charge your vehicle? Well, most electric vehicles today have standard onboard charging systems, which are limited in power, generally 3.3 kilowatts to 6.6 kilowatts, such as a Nissan Leaf. The BMW i3 comes with a standard 6.6 kilowatt charger, and the Chevy Spark EV, which is a new battery electric vehicle, has a 3.3 kilowatt charger standard on board. But one thing that's different in the next generation of electric vehicles that are coming out is that they are adopting new industry standards that have recently been released that allow for DC fast charging of the vehicle, which this is a process in which the lower power onboard charger is bypassed, and a higher power off-board charging system can charge the battery in times of up to 20 minutes for 80% charge in the case of the Spark EV, while utilizing onboard systems generally takes between 3 and 7 hours. Now, most DC charging equipment that you see on the market addresses only 5 to 10% of the market. These are larger public stations that are similar to your gas pump. These are developed by large corporations like Eaton, Schneider Electric, and they're very heavy and costly systems. And as I'll show, they are outside the budget of most home consumers. So what we project to do is to supply DC charging equipment on the home level by utilizing cost-effective technology. We propose to develop a 10 kilowatt to 50 kilowatt charger that's customizable in 10 kilowatt increments to be utilized in any home in the world that has an electric vehicle that adopts the DC fast charging standard, which we see as becoming truly a standard in any electric vehicle that you see coming out next year and beyond. We would like to make a very lightweight compact design. Our 10 kilowatt base model is probably going to end up being about the size of this binder. So we're talking very low production cost overall, while most other DC charging systems can be the size of a vending machine. Now, we've got a few very exciting partnerships that we've started recently. We were approached just about a month ago with one of the largest global suppliers of electricity. And we plan to work with them and having them offer installation of our devices on the home level, as they are a major utility provider. And they also look at managing our customer supply networks. The majority of our team has experience in the automotive industry, and our co-CTO, Dr. Hua Bai, has worked with many Tier 1 suppliers for the auto industry and specializes in vehicle electrification. We'll also work with Underwriters Laboratories through our product development phase to make sure we're in compliance with all global safety regulations and standards, and also look to partner with electronics manufacturing companies. Now, in our initial funding stage, we hope to raise $1.75 to $2.25 million in order to secure a 3-month or a 9-month product development phase under the technical leadership of Dr. Bai. And we also plan on establishing our supply chains in that time period and also securing a diverse intellectual property portfolio to protect our technology in Europe, Asia, and the US markets. Now, our team consists of Dr. Hua Bai, who is a PhD from Tsinghua University. And he came to the US in 2011 and did postdoctoral work at the University of Michigan, specializing in automotive electronics, especially vehicle electrification. He has also worked as a part of his PhD program in a solar funding project that was sponsored by the Chinese government. We also have 2 of our co-founders here today, Shuntuo and Yang, and they'll be up offering questions after the presentation. And they are both MIT PhD candidates in electrical and mechanical engineering, respectively. And as you may know, my name is Alex. I have 4 years of experience in advanced manufacturing techniques and with working at MTD Products, and also have a degree in mechanical engineering. And Anthony Frazone, our CEO, currently couldn't make it today. He is a second lieutenant in the US military, and he will be working on getting us connections in the government for DOE and Department of Defense contracts that we could possibly utilize our technology. Thank you very much for your time, and look forward to any questions.
Thank you for the speech, and it's great to share those technology for most effective and efficient way to charging the whatever electric vehicles, especially when like Tesla and all kinds of competitors are making a phenomenon today. Okay, so now let's start the Q&A session for 5 minutes.
So do you want to handle the first one?
Sure. I'll go ahead and answer the first one. So the charging time is mainly determined by your charging power. And when your charging power is at peak value, it does matter what your like efficient is. So I hope this can answer your concern for the first one. You're saying?
My question is charge impact on the battery life. So basically, when you do a 10C charging, right, the battery life will change from 1,000 cycle to like 50. Is that the case? Have you studied?
You mean the impact on the battery when we were charging and discharging? Well, it's mainly depends on your voltage and current rating and also the features on the battery. So as long as we meet the demands of the voltage and current for the battery, I don't see any point with the battery charging cycle.
And also a 10C rate would be in the range of around like 240 kilowatts of power to the battery in most standard battery electric vehicles. And we're focusing on level 1 DC charging, which is within a low power range that is up to 50 kilowatts, where we're under the, or would be under the 1 to 2C charge rate. And also, to answer your question about the utilities, it's true that most houses are rated for 30 amp service on a 240 volt circuit, especially in the US. But most European homes have a higher power rating service with three-phase 400 volt service. And the utility that we're working with is a French-based company, and we initially see our market being deployed in Europe, where our chargers can be of value and be implemented very quickly as the rest of the global grids get up to speed, and people that buy electric vehicles request more power to their homes as they require more charging. So, but thank you for the question.
So I have a question. You mentioned the use of funds. One of the use of funds is to secure IP. Could you elaborate? Do you have to license IP from school? If you do you have an exclusive license agreement? That's the first question. Second question is, what is the valuation, pre-money valuation?
What is what?
Pre-money valuation. You are raising 1 to 2 million. What is pre-money valuation of your company?
The market valuation of the company right now?
Yes, basically.
Okay. Well, I would probably put the market value of the company as we see it just around in that category. We've been approached by several investors that are eager to continue contact with us, and these are recent developments that have just happened in the past few weeks. So I think just the fact that we've been contacted directly from these people and we have not sent feelers out adds a little bit of value and recognition to the product that we're developing. And what was that, the first question again? Oh, IP? Yeah, currently the technology is sort of in the heads right now of our research team, and we've not filed for any patents yet. And we're looking to set aside a portion of that initial funding process to really put a comprehensive plan together where we can afford some of the best lawyers and attorneys to back our technology.
One last question.
So can your technology be applied to mobile devices, like any electric device other than cars? I'm not sure.
Definitely. We've been looking at all sorts of different markets over the past year to see what would be the best application for this technology. We've looked at telecommunications and also the list goes on. Any really situation that you need to charge a battery system, this technology can be applied. But due to our background in the automotive industry, we saw that as a natural sort of first step to get into the market, where the regulations may be stricter, but it would be a good advanced technology for us to first come out with where we could build a reputation of quality products that people interact with on a daily basis, and then branch out to other different business models like telecom or off-grid storage.
Thank you very much. Yeah. To our judges, now you can start to rate the performance, the general performance of Czar Power Corporation today. And Alan, I'm wondering whether you can give some comments on this team as an expert in this area.
I think the direction is correct, right? This also, we need this kind of technology. However, I believe the technology itself is not quite ready, especially the team needs to do some in-depth study on how is the charging system, how it's going to impact the battery life. I think this is very important. So further research is needed, I believe. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. So before we start the presentation of the next team, let's give Zhifei a couple more minutes to finish getting the average scores.
I still see a lot of judges trying to figure out how our judging system is working. All done?
Are we all set?
Okay.
And sometimes it's hard to be the first one. I understand that. Good luck.
Actually, this year is also like a kind of entrepreneur for us, MIT chief organizers, because we built our judging system all by ourselves. So it's still like a test and run. So I can see we have some delays, but hopefully everything will work.
And it works.
Here we are. So this is all the scores for the Czar Power. And the final score will be, I'll summarize the final one. The average is, and the average score is 5.38. Okay. Thank you, Czar Power.
Thank you. Nowadays, people talk about big data every day. It seems like a hot topic in venture capital industry, but it's hard to understand sometimes how it works and how it can be applied. And our next team, the Wildcat winner mobile CRM system, is doing that, and it's trying to develop apps in using big data to help the retail players in China. Let's welcome them.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yanfeng Liu, and I'm the co-founder of Youren. We are going to transform the retail industry in China by data analytics and smartphone. So this is our system. Basically, we are going to collaborate with each individual retailer, and we are going to collect their customer information, like demographic information, GPS data, and also POS data. And we combine all of the data, and we are going to send the optimized coupon to their customer. So once the customer, they get into the actual store of our partner, they can download our apps. So you can see our prototype, it's a mobile phone application. And they bring in this application into the store and show it to the cashier. Then we are going to link the customer ID with the POS data. And they don't need any hardware or software investment, and it's very simple. And after that, we combine all of the data, and we're going to send the optimized coupon to the customer. Just give you one example. Actually, it's quite simple. As a customer, you don't need to do anything. Because we are going to collect the GPS data, we can figure out where is your home and where is your office. And we can figure out maybe at 12 o'clock, usually you will go to the lunch. So we can send the coupon at 11:30, like a bento coupon to you. And you can only use this coupon at your closest store. So this is how our system works. And how we make money? Basically, our money from the two streams. One is from the supplier. We are going to share those data with the supplier, and they are going to pay fixed fee. And we already found out there are about 10 suppliers. They are very interested in this system. And in China, in total, we think there are about 200 suppliers. They will eventually become our client. But this supplier, I think it's because it's a fixed cost, I think it's not a huge upside. So we think that maybe they are able to pay about 5,000 to the 10,000 USD per month. But this is only going to cover our running cost and our fixed costs. Actually, the biggest, our revenue is going to come from the retailer. For if the customer is going to use our coupon, and our first client, which is Lawson, they already agreed to pay 1% of the total amount related to this solution. So that will be much higher amount compared to the money from the supplier. And Aeon, which is also the biggest retailer in whole Asia, they also be our client starting from next February. And why suppliers, they want to pay money to our solution? Because currently there are a lot of solutions. They are going to offer the customer information. And also there are some solutions they are going to offer the POS data. But we can connect those two. So we can figure out the individual level POS data without no huge investment. So this is the benefit. And I'm from the ex-consultant background. Actually, we have a lot of experience in the retail industry. So we are not going to share the raw data. Actually, we are going to share the analysis report, which is actionable. So the supplier can use those analyses immediately into the action. So just give you one example. For the trial analysis, the company like Pepsi, they used to take them about 2 months to figure out whether a new product can get any customer attraction or not. But with our analysis report, they can shorten the time from the 2 months to 1 month. Also, this is why the retailer, they love our solution. First, we can increase the store visit frequency because now everything's personalized. Like just give you one example, convenience store. Currently, they don't have a lot of the differentiation factor except location. But use our solution. Actually, we can push the coupon before they reach to the store. When they get close to the store, we are going to push the coupon. So they will come to their store more frequently. We anticipate we can increase the store visit frequency by 25%. Second, we are going to increase the average purchasing amount. Actually, we already did a similar project in Japan before, and at that time, we used a paper-based coupon, but with a similar engine. At that time, in 1 year, we increased the sales about 2%, so it's already proven. Third, it's about the number of the customer. Now we are doing the pilot in Suzhou, and we found out that we can reduce the customer acquisition cost by 50%. So I think we are in the good shape in terms of the team and funding. We already raised the 1.2 million as a seed funding. Also, we have the team from the retail background plus very strong data analytic background. I and Sam, we worked together in McKinsey before, and at that time we served a lot of retailers in China, Japan, and other regions in Asia. We also tie up with the Team Lab, which is a very innovative IT startup based in Tokyo. And we also collaborated with the MIT ORC. So this is the difference between other solutions. Maybe you think this is really red ocean, but I think we are in the good shape. First of all, the retailer don't need to pay any upfront cost, but we can help them to connect the individual information like the demographic or GPS data with the POS data. And they don't need to update their POS system because we used to work with the Chinese retailer. We understand the POS system is very old, but they don't need to update it. And second is we are going to push the coupon. Conventional coupon system, as a customer, you need to open your coupon apps every day and try to search the coupon. But we are going to push the coupon at the time, at the location you really need the coupon. Third, we are going to share the data with supplier because we understand which kind of the data supplier really want. And we can create a good format which is useful for the supplier. Finally, this is what we plan in the near future. So currently we have 2 clients, Aeon and Lawson. And we are going to expand our program once we refine our current program. And we want to encourage more the foreign retailer, especially the Japanese retailer, because we have a lot of the connection in China with the Japanese retailer. And after that, once we have enough retailer and supplier in our client base, we want to launch the universal point system, which is we want to become the bank of the points. So each retailer, when they want to issue the points or they want to exchange their points with other retailer, will become the bank, and we are going to charge certain % of the transaction fee. So this is the step 3. So what we need right now is funding, because in order to expand our client base, we need to conduct a lot of the sales and the marketing effort. Second, we need the network of the local retailer. Although we have a lot of the network in the foreign and the Japanese retailer, but I think the key to success in China is try to crack the Chinese retail market. So we also need your network. Third is our company have a bit the complicated structure. We have the VIE structure. So how to get the national level SP license is the issue currently we are having right now. Thank you very much. Open for questions.
Questions?
So how much cost does each store need to spend to employ and actually to use your infrastructure? I mean, does they need to buy any devices or equipment for each store? Or?
Okay, so they don't need to buy any equipment. So basically, we can use their current cashier. They have a barcode scan. And we can use that scan, and they can actually read our barcode on the smartphone. So they don't need any hardware investment. But of course, they need to change their POS system a little bit to connect with our system. But we have the engineer team to help them to do every installation.
Okay, so the user need to have your application installed on their mobile phone first, right?
Yes.
And then start. How do you
okay.
that?
So I think the mobile application space is really red ocean. Like a lot of companies, they spend a lot of money and try the customer to download it. And we don't want to take that approach. We actually tie up with each individual retailer. And we put our smartphone as if we are actually part of their promotion campaign. So just one example, Lawson currently they have their store in Shanghai. And if the customer download our apps, they can get the coupon and also they can get something like they have some animation character, they can get some goods. So we are the part of the retail stores campaign. And inside that campaign, the existing customer of that store is going to download our apps.
This is a very capital-intensive kind of effort. So, what's the plan to? How do you find the best way to penetrate the market?
Yes, I think that China is a very competitive market. Like even the big company like Tencent or Baidu, they are very active.
Let me rephrase the question.
Sure.
So, who do this has been tried many times. By a lot of companies in the U.S., the early the coupon and royalty cards, they'll try to penetrate that. You need thousands of soldiers to close the deals. So where do you see? It's kind of may not be very open field right now. So who do you compete with right now in this approach? It's the integration with any POS. It's not easy, and then so why? I want to know if you have done a lot of kind of market research also. Yeah.
my understanding is in order to get the transaction data, there are two approaches. One is from the credit card, that kind of the financial data. Another approach is from the POS data, and we are from the POS. The reason why we took that approach is because we have the good connection with the industry. Basically, we know that every Japanese retailer and the foreign retailers in China. So we can actually have the negotiation with one by one and try to connect their system with our POS system. And I think this model is something, although it's very slow, but it's something difficult to try to the other company to mimic us. So that's why we use this approach. And once we got the data, I think that's something very exclusive, and we can use the data to send optimized coupon.
Yeah, my question is that this sounds like a very promising space that you're trying to target, but I didn't get a good understanding of what's our core competitive advantage, because it seems that we want to have the good relationship with a lot of retailers, and we want to build a whole network with the data. But as you said, the data takes time in building. And from the analytical part, I don't know how hard it is for some, like all the very smart MIT engineers to replicate, maybe within a few months or so. So what's our core competitive advantage?
Sure. I think our advantage first is, as you said, this is the data analytic, and the GPS data is a real-time data. I think it's very difficult to create a recommendation engine, and we collaborate with the MIT ORC, so that's one advantage. Second is about our deep understanding of the retail industry. So we can actually provide a meaningful analysis for the supplier. So the supplier is willing to pay us because they can use our analysis report directly, they can take the meaningful action. Third one is our customer base, because we have the good connection with the CEO level people inside the retail industry. So I think that we can develop the B2B good relationship in the short term. Thank you.
I'm still not quite clear on how you can, what your plan is to acquire customers to get them to download the app.
Yes, so we collaborate with each individual retailer. So if you get into the 7-Eleven, let's say Cambridge, then you will find a lot of the campaign going on. So we are part of their campaign. So if the customer need to participate into some kind of the 7-Eleven campaign, sometimes they need to use our app. And if they are going to use our app, maybe they can get a better odds to get some kind of award or prize in their campaign. Because we work in the retail industry, so we know which kind of the campaign actually can work for the retail. So it's part of the consulting process, working with the retail industry, tell them how to use our app inside your promotion campaign. So we are not going to spend any money outside like the Google Play or App Store. So we are just concentrating on in-store experience, and we try to incorporate our app into their campaign.
Okay, I think it's time for the judges to make the decision, and please submit your scores. And any judge want to comment and summarize this team? Maybe Yong, maybe you want to comment?
I think it's, the incentive to the consumers to have them download from the in-store, promotion booklet something. I think it's not compelling enough for us to accept your model. So you can try that. You can you can validate this model, but only by talking, I don't think it's compelling enough story. So that's my opinion. How about?
I don't doubt that you can get the retailers. It sounds like it's great that you have beta users, but I think knowing how to operate Yuying, like operating the customers. I'm finished.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, the judges, for the comment. Do we have the score yet? Actually, like a personal note, like I always envy those deal queen, deal king who come to the store, pull out their wallet, gets like tons of like long list of coupons, like, and then like at the CVS checkout, they have like $0.5. That's your total. Like that's not fair. I want to be that type of person. So sorry for the delay of like the tryout of our first version of our scoring system. Actually, we build up like our contestant build up this score since ourselves by using combining Google Form and Excel. And I think because of the delay of the web, like the answers submitted by the judges will take a while to get here.
There's no zero score. Just
So.
there's one judge that didn't give the score, so you see at 0 there. But we will take the average based on the number of judges who actually scored.
So the final score for mobile CRM is 5.58. And just to be clear that like if the judges fail to submit the score, the average won't, will divided by the actual number of the submissions. So I think Jingjing will introduce. So our third one is television. Sorry.
Television.
Television. Okay. So I think I won't stay this for long, but like everybody wants to know, like we all know, like the pre-diagnosis of like cancer is really important for saving the life. And I think today television is going to give us some new vision on how to diagnose cancer and tumor.
Hello, everyone. No action today, no cure tomorrow. You know, these icons, they have fame or fortune, but do you know they have one more thing in common? Cancer. Yes, in front of cancer, we all shared the same odds of developing cancer in our lifetime, 1 in 3. The cancer could be so close to us and our loved one. It has taken away my mom and my committing pets within 2 years. I'm Bing Hong, the president and CTO of television. Our products will find the cancer before it strikes the patient and further personalize the treatment plan to save the lives. Importantly, we have a passion to make a change by a strong team of experts in this field. Stuart, the CEO, with 40 years of experience on managing and building the healthcare startups to IPO and private sales. Myself, the president and CTO, and served 2 lifetime companies from lab to market with proven track record of success on developing commercial medical device. Dr. Harp, a CMO, oncologist, treating the patient and leading the clinical trial for 20 years. Dr. Liu, CSO, the professor of health science at Purdue University, with 20 years experience on cancer imaging, and also enormous number of patents and publications. We also have a strong board of advisors from the top companies to help us build the complete management and sales team. I understand there are many products in the cancer diagnostic market, and all of them cannot detect the tumor 100% cancer specific and accurate, cause false positivity and false overtreatment, except one, biopsy, which has been the gold standard for many, many years. However, the biopsy procedure is complicated and time-consuming. Anyway, he's saying the biopsy is bad, has a lot of drawbacks. And obviously, there's a substantial market opportunity and clinical need for a new class of biopsy to detect new type of biopsy, not only 100% cancer specific, but also minimum invasive and inexpensive, providing close to real-time response and consistent result. That is the liquid biopsy. Anyway, you're not going to hear it. Basically, she's saying she's very excited about this global, this product for global market. So the liquid biopsy is the detection of the circulating tumor cell, in short, CTC, in cancer patient's blood. The CTC are shed by the primary tumor, and they circulate in the bloodstream. And as shown in the movie, not shown anyway, Eventually, they're going to settle down, forming the secondary tumors. The clinical evidence has proven that the CDC are only found in cancer patients. 99% of cancer will release the CDC in the blood circulation. CDC are clinically useful for real-time indicator for the patient status, tumor progression, and drug efficacy. The CDC test can be used for early cancer detection, treatment customization, and post-treatment monitoring. The CDC test is comprehensive. It can tell you whether there's a tumor, where it is, what type, what stage, and for the treatment, what treatment plan, and whether the treatment is working or not. We have developed an innovative point-of-care testing device called CellaVision for CDC liquid biopsy. It's a patented product with the issued patent. Using this device is very simple. So blood is collected here. Blood is collected, gonna be added to this device. Then you rotate this device and wait for 40 minutes. The CDC will be captured in this device. And then this device will be placed under the microscope to examine and characterize the CDC, to classify the risk. And the CDC information will be, which is unique to each patient, will be available for the physician to make a diagnosis right away. This device has been validated by animal model and also the human samples. And so far, we have secured academic researchers, customers. And in addition, our technology and company have had significant media coverage. As part of our commitment, we want to extend the product from manual operation to fully automated operation. So we created a bio-CD, similar to a DVD, to coat the blood on this surface. And to read this disk, we have this spinning disk imaging system. It's not moving anyway. Similar to a DVD player, to scan the whole disk to find each single CDC rapidly, automatically. And as you know, one CDC blood has over 4 billion normal blood cells and probably only a few CDCs. And so they are really rare. The competitor's technology has to remove all the surrounding normal blood cells in order to find the CDC. Our technology does not treat the sample. As a result, the competitor's technology is going to cause 50% loss of those target CDC, and because of the harsh treatment. And also, all those captured CDC are dead cells. They cannot be reused. And our technology is a one-step, loss-free process, retaining all the CDC and all live cells. Yes, we have clinical proof that we can detect a single CDC among billions of those normal blood cells in cancer patients' blood as well as bone marrow. Cell search system is the only competitor in the cancer diagnostic market. Compared to this product, our product can provide competitive advantages over cell search in all major aspects. CellaVision test kit is especially outstanding for no fixed cost, portable size. So it can be used for first come, first served, or lower resourced medical setting. The competitor system is huge in terms of size on the right side. And the SDI system, because of a fully automated process, is very good, outstanding for high throughput hospital. All products have, we believe all products have a clear potential in 3 markets: cancer research, cancer diagnostics, and health screening in China. Some of these screening tests, mammogram, PSA blood test, or the colonoscopy could be replaced by our test, and for the detection of those 3 major cancer types. Considering the number of those new cases every year, just replace only one of those 3 tests could generate revenue for $172 million. Our plan is, at stage 1, we're going to focus on RUO market by the national distributors, product showcase, and also the network of our partnership. We're also going to conduct a clinical trial in China and the United States simultaneously to seek regulatory approval. In this stage 2, we're going to gain the entry to the diagnostic market. In this market, we're going to focus on health screening and break even. In stage 3, we're going to expand the market to personalized care planning and monitoring. and get ready for acquisition. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. So now it's a Q&A session.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting project, and especially medical devices really has a very high potential. Now, two questions. One is how far away from the really say FDA approval or SFDA approval? Question one. Question two is compared to the other thing, for example, PSA, right? So why people want to switch to your method?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. For the first question, we have finished the pilot human trial. Probably around 20 cancer patients, including 10 breast cancer, 5 colorectal, and 5 lymphoma patients. So the next stage, we are ready, if we have money, to conduct clinical trial in China and the US States. So I think in the United States, we're going to follow the 510K. It's a 9 months processing time range. So I will estimate probably 1 to 2 years, because FDA always delay, to get to the final stage. Get to the market. And for your second question, for the PSA, it's a very good example, especially for men like me. So PSA can be elevated by a non-cancerous condition, such as you have a inflammation. Some people have trauma. They're gonna have elevation pretty high. So they probably gonna have false positivity and over-treatment. So you don't want any over-treatment, because cancer treatment is gonna be damage all your immune system. You probably live a poor quality of life. So hopefully I answer your question.
Okay, so I thought I understood you to say that you could also tell where the cancer was. Could you just elaborate on that a bit?
Yes, it's based on, so CDC are not only a cellular marker, it's also it's a cell. It contains all the protein, genetic. So you have to base on the deep level molecular analysis to point out where it is. For example, like PSA. You can test PSA on circulating tumor cells. But this is quite different from testing PSA in the blood serum, because tumor cell, 100% cancer specific. I already mentioned that. So you can even know it's from the prostate.
So a couple of questions. I think on one of the slides, you did share with us some sensitivity and accuracy data. Can you kind of walk us through your experience with your 20-patient human trial? Can you walk us through how do you get to $100 per test? And
you mean $100?
Yeah, you have a $100 variable cost. And so what is your cost basis today? How do you get to $100 on a cost basis? And lastly, for this to be implemented on a wide-scale basis, you do need to get to automation. You can't expect trials, or particularly in China, to actually put it under a microscope. Can you kind of walk us through that process for automation?
You have two questions. The first question, you mean the cost, right? The cost, you can look at this device. How would you expect? Is that very expensive? No, it's plastics. If I go to Guangdong province in China, it's a toy. It's a toy, all based on the plastics, maybe some paper absorbent. It's a very, cost effective. So that's the point of care test kit. The meaning of point of care test. You cannot, very expensive. People not gonna afford it, even in the United States, because we have right now the Affordable Care Act, right? You have to target the low cost. And for your second question, sorry, I missed your question.
Okay, one of the questions was accuracy and sensitivity. I think you actually had the data on one of the slides. Can you kind of backtrack to one of those slides and take a look?
Okay.
94%.
The sensitivity, okay. I have to make some correction. So, not correction, some description. The sensitivity for circulating tumor cell is different from sensitivity for normal tests like a PSA test, because tumor cells is counted by number. So the sensitivity means whether you can get the right number or not. So compare with other technology like cell search, the competitor, they lose 50%, which means they cannot get the right sensitivity. We don't process. We just look at it, the entire cell population in the blood. So there's no loss. But I said approximately 100%, because nobody gonna claim 100%. It's very dangerous, I know.
On the operations, basically in China, no one's going to, in a big clinic setting, no one's going to run this operation manually. Can you talk us a little bit through how you're going to get to an automated process or where you are on that?
I think the manual operation is not bad because I have the experience on animal testing and human testing. People use point of care because for women, if you are pregnant, are you going to take the pregnancy test? It's a manual operation. It's very similar. It's not a big difference. So clinical, it depends. It depends because in China, some tests are manually operated, but we expand the product to manual fully automated operation already. So it's good. It's good for our hospital to use. The thing is, automation has some advantages because, especially for the clinical central lab in the United States, people don't want to, hands-free, right? They want to process at night, so just put everything in the machine and let it go. It's okay. We have the two ends. Point of care test kit, low end. The fully automated spinning disk imaging system, the high end. So no matter what you want, you can get it there.
I have a question for you. Based on this, you only have a cell search as a major competitor. I know Johnson & Johnson and other competitors doing similar things, and some of them get approval already. And it takes you years to get all the approval as FDA. How do you view you can overcome this time gap? And
as far as I understand, the cellular vision is manufactured by Veridex, and Veridex is a sister company of the Johnson & Johnson, right? And this is the only one competitor in the diagnostic market, nobody else. But in the research market, there are some others. We are not only one. We are the follower. Some people are doing the follower too. And you mean the gap between the approval? Yes, and that's a good question because we want to survive. So we have to start with the research use market. That's a big market too, $150 million in the United States only. In China, I've been to China last year, and the one doctor came to me. Maybe it's not. It's under the table. Okay. People, genetic test. There's only 2 genetic tests approved in the United States. That's Angelina Jolie took BRCA1, BRCA2. That's only 2 approved. But in China, the genetic test market, the green market, people do it under the table. It's 1 billion Chinese yuan every year. It's really big. I know I'm not saying we're going to do that, but I'm saying the research use market, which means if you get approval from IRB, you can do that. You can sell it. But it's very limited, but we can survive. The investor will get the money by that way. So.
Thank you. Okay, now the judges can score, and I'm wondering who would like to give out some comments. Elaine, would you like to give some comments based on your experience?
Thank you. I think that this company is very interesting. I think this is definitely an area where a number of companies are pursuing, and there are a number of companies that have actually raised a lot of money to basically get through the FDA clinical trials. I think that if you look at these systems, the one thing I would say is that while these fixed costs look high, in the industry, what you'll see is that companies will usually put the system in the hospital. The hospital will never pay for that $200,000 or even $50,000. And so it'll be very interesting to see how this company sort of evolves to tackle the business model to make it in line with how hospitals usually buy this equipment as well. Very interesting.
Thank you so much. Now we're waiting for our score again. And also get ready to our next team. Okay, now it's here. Okay. It's pretty high, though 2 judges haven't provided the scores yet. Let's see, the average is 6.82. Our next team is from China, and they are trying to solve the garbage and recycling problems in urban cities in China by providing an innovative system, recycle, record, and reward. Let's welcome our next team, Green Earth Environment Technologies.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jian Chao. First, I would like to thank the organizer to give me this very special opportunity to be here, because I guess I'm the only only finalist right now suffering from the jet lag. I arrived last night, but I think this is a great opportunity because I can take this opportunity to show what we are doing in China today, and probably get some great advice from all the judges and the audience to make our work more successful when we back to China. So here I'm gonna share this dream of green life and a dream of green earth. This dream starts from very interesting point, which is waste. So as we know, with the development of and the civilization of China, the waste has been a more and more serious problem. Every day, the whole nation is generating a huge amount of garbage, and this garbage, actually 95% of them can be properly handled if in the first place they are separated properly. But due to the very inefficient and bad practice of garbage separation in the source, only 50% of these recyclable garbages are being actually recycled, and the rest of the recyclable and the compostable garbages are mixed together with the waste, and which is producing a very severe problem to the government and the public, both from the economy side and also the environment side. But the government sees it as a big problem, but we see a huge opportunity here, because if you look at the numbers here, if we do the garbage separation in the beginning, a large amount of garbage every day can be handled in a proper way, which means less landfill and a large amount of money saved to process this garbage, and a large amount of natural resource can be saved, and also a large amount of job opportunity created. So this is our opportunity, and our mission is to provide assisted waste management service to the public, including free seminar to the residents, help them understand how to do the garbage separation, and also an award system basing on IT system to evaluate the participation of each family, and so that their continuous action can be encouraged, and also smart facilities and background process to ensure the effectiveness of the recycling actions. And also we provide, we help to make the recycling more efficient by fostering the high-tech recycling technology providers by selling our recycled garbage to them, and so that we can build a healthier ecosystem in the recycling industry. And the last one is to introduce eco-friendly lifestyle to the public by suggesting more greener products, and help them to participate in the environment protection actions through our special channel. So our company was founded on 2008, which is the first social enterprise focusing on single-stream recycling and the utilization of urban waste in China. And right now, we are the largest private service provider certified by the local government, and we are covering more than 200,000 populations, including residential community, schools, and office buildings. So here's how our process works. First, under our instruction, the residents collect their recyclable garbages from their daily waste and put them all together into one bag. And the most important step is that they have a two-dimensional barcode sticker they stake to the bag so that this bag can be recognized later in our process. And our worker will collect all these bags from our community collection point to our sorting center, where in the center, each bag of garbage will be scanned, weighted, and checked by our pipeline. And all the data will be input into the IT system automatically. And the system will give the corresponding green points, award points, regarding to the quality and the quantity of the garbage collected from each family to their account. And each family will use this green point to get award to exchange for green products. And after our professional sorting, we will sell the raw material to the downstream manufacturers. So in summary, our business model is B2G and B2B hybrid with 3 revenue streams. On the user side, we don't charge. We provide free service plus the awarding plan, but we charge from the government for the service, and we sell the raw material to the traditional manufacturers. And also, we create a marketing channel for the green product manufacturers. And these are the current revenue and the projection in 5 years. So you can see the percentage of each streams will change. Probably the government part will get down to 30%, but the raw material sales and the channel value will increase. So far, we are serving more than 50,000 families in Chengdu, and more than 1,500 tons of garbage have been recycled in our system. And we helped more than 3,000 on-site activities in the past 2 years. And the participation rate comparing to the existing Chinese cities are very high, which is 50%. And more than 2.5 million of times of effective disposal has been occurred. So what we're going to do next are three directions: the user expansion and the setup of a green lifestyle platform and the strong industry partnership. Through this, Green Earth will grow to provide better green lifestyle to the user and build a strong distribution channel to the green product manufacturers and the build up of an ecosystem for the manufacturers and in turn help to the government to form a stronger policy for the recycling industry.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sorry.
And time is up. I'm sorry. And judges for the Q&A, Anna.
Thank you. How do you plan to incentivize the users in the beginning to start recycling, to adopt the system?
How
do you start? Because many people don't know about recycling or don't have the habit already of recycling in China, right? So how do you get them to start recycling and?
Okay, so back in 2008, it's actually harder than now because the general public don't realize the importance of garbage separation. And but now, as you can see, in the whole nation, the government and the public is everywhere is mentioning the importance about the garbage separation. So we think the global environment is ready, but it's just a lackage of the practice of how to make the public to participate. So that's what we are providing.
Hello, thank you. I was curious about the award system. Have you considered partnering to use the award points to reward maybe something that's a more basic need? Because I wasn't sure when you said green products, what are they? You know, that could probably help with your scale.
Yeah, so you mean the platform itself or the system?
Yeah, a little bit of what can I get with the award points, and then also have you considered maybe extending your reach with partnering using the award points to maybe subsidize another basic need?
Actually, we're building a very, a very strong partnership with different, with a diversity of partners, including like Wanke or P&G. It's all from different business dimension. We provide different kind of services in our platform. Does that answer your question?
Two questions. First is how do you plan to expand in China into the other cities? Because you need a license, right? Some special licenses in different cities. Second question is just give like a very short on your team. Like how can you do this?
Okay.
From your team.
So actually, this this question is actually one. So how do we cooperate our model to more places without expand this team too much, right? So we are currently to make our model more neutralized in Chengdu, and we kind of extract this operation model together with this IT system together to make it can be franchised. As we see franchise, we can license the usage of this system and our services to provide the license to the partners in other cities, so that they can use this same service and the whole process to provide the same service to other cities public. So that's our plan, and we can kind of just keep a relatively small team focusing on the partnership development and the marketing value creation, and so that we can share all the value across all the partners in other cities.
Follow-up question. Could you work through the economics of this operation? You know, at what scale it could be profitable? And you know, it's okay to have the bigger team. It's okay. It's not you always have two people. So could you work through the profit? And do you need government subsidies?
Okay. So that's the part I didn't come over to. This is the last slide where we have a financial projection for next 5 years, and we will keep probably 150% increase ratio for this is kind of conservative projection, and in the beginning we probably need more government support, but when the user scope is big enough, we kind of come to a self-sustainable mode and gain enough profit from the marketing itself.
Yeah, so I think this is very impressive that you're solving the recycling problem in China. I'm just curious from the product or the revenue mix you showed in the other slide. Right now it's 90% from the government.
Sorry, I didn't.
So the revenue mix, if you break down the revenue, right now it's 90% from the government.
Yeah,
But you expect only like 2% in 2016.
that's right. This 2012 is the first year that we acquire the government support. So you see the government income from government is very high, and because of the scope is relatively small, where we only have about 20,000 families participating. So the channel value didn't really show up at that moment. But so far today, this ratio is already becoming changing, and we think it's going to change in the next few years.
Okay, and thank you. And so judges, please make your final submission of the score. And thank Jen Chao for trying so hard for making China have to be, the recycling club, to join the recycling club. So, any judge want to give a comment? Charlemagne, I know you are the social.
I think you have a very impressive business model, and I do think I would like you to consider more partnerships, and then I think there's opportunities for you to use other parts in your model to bring more people to adopt this type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then, like I mentioned in my question, I do think these green products that you're rewarding them, it could be something that they use every day that can become much cheaper, and then that would get more adoption.
Thank you. So do we have the score yet?
Almost.
Oh.
Thank you.
Wow. So the final score for Green Earth is 6.17. Thank you. As everybody already know, a lot of people were talking about China, how much, the money is right now locating in China, right? So a lot of people overseas in China is thinking about investing elsewhere. So for example, buying houses in San Francisco, right? And so how to do this, it's very challenging. And we have our team, Founders Link, who will help to market these needs and give a solution. So Founders Link, please.
Founders Link is redefining how foreigners can invest into real estate in the United States. It is an online marketplace for foreign investors to pool money together and invest in private properties in the United States as little as $10,000. It could be office building, shopping malls, hotels, or apartment buildings. As we know, United States is the largest and most mature real estate market in the world. A lot of foreign investors want to get in the game, but they don't know how. And they face a lot of obstacles. First, they need to take a 15-hour-long flight to the United States to see the properties. Then after they make the purchase and want to apply a loan from the bank, they found out they got rejected from the bank because they have limited credit history in the country. And they also need to deal with angry tenants who keep asking him to fixing the toilets, replacing the light bulbs, blah, 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 etc. And last but not the least, when they sell the property, they need to pay a hefty capital gain tax, which is only imposed on foreign investors. And all these obstacles make foreign real estate investment a very painful process. And that's why Founders Link is here to help. You can log on to Founders Link and browse all the investment opportunities online. Instead of going to the actual physical location to see the property, you can browse all the opportunities and you can sort by locations, asset class, hold period, and target returns. For example, I'm interested in the Austin Metro Apartments. I click View Details. Then you can see a snapshot of property summary, the investment pros and cons of the deal, a location map of major employers and amenities in the submarket, a cash flow projection produced by FundusLink, and the management team of the operators. After you make up a decision, you can sign your subscription document online securely via DocuSign, and then you can fund the money to the FundusLink's escrow account. And all you need to do is just sit at home and watch your investments grow. That's not funny. So how does it work? First, real estate operators submit their investments online. And FundusLinks conduct full due diligence on the operators and the investments, such as credit check, background check, criminal checks, and we're also going to make sure that's the right investment for our investors. The investor can see the approved deals online and sign the subscription document and fund the money. And after the minimum capital raise goal is reached, the deal will be closed. And during the investment period, FundusLink will provide quarterly updates and dividend distribution to our investors. Not only do we make foreign real estate investment a lot easier, we also make it more tax efficient. Real Estate Investment Trust, or REIT, is a unique and tax-efficient vehicle to invest in real estate. And a domestically controlled REIT means US persons hold 50% or more shares in a REIT vehicle. And all the investment of FundusLink will set up the structure as a domestically controlled REIT. So the foreigners do not need to pay any capital gain tax or even file for it when they sell the property. I'll walk you through a very simple example, how much profit you're gonna make. For example, I buy a house for 1 million and I sell to 1.5. With a domestically controlled REIT structure, I make net 500K profits. But with a typical LLC or direct purchase structure, because you're subject to the foreign capital gain tax, 35%, then you only make 325K. And that's an astounding 54% more in profit. Our revenue comes from 4 streams. First, the operators pay us fees to list their investments online. And we also ask our investors to reimburse our legal and technology expenses annually. And after we gain enough traction and build up our investor base, we share a small percentage of the carry interest with our operators. And when investors sell the interest to other investors online, we charge a percentage as a transaction fee. And how are we going to acquire our investors? We'll definitely use social media, as everyone else does, and we plan to acquire our investors in the following 3 phases. First, we'll target Chinese living in the United States, which are non-resident aliens. And secondly, we'll target Chinese with overseas bank account. And last, we're open to all Chinese and other Asians, but we're assuming that a future renminbi liberalization is foreseeable. The market is huge. CBRE forecasts high net worth individuals from China will invest up to 179 billion into overseas real estate. And assuming 60% of them is in the United States, and crowdfunding platforms such like FundusLinks get 5% of the market shares. And that's a 5 billion market. And FundusLink FundusLink will be successful because we solve the long existing problems that foreign investors are facing when they want to invest overseas. With FundusLink, investors have great access to quality deal flows, and they have the ability to transact online instead of flying to the US to find the actual opportunities. And they can invest as little as $10,000. And they don't need to deal with brokers, banks, or tenants. They just need to sit at home and watch the investment. And last but not the least, we structure the investment in this way that foreign investors don't need to pay capital gain tax. And FundusLink could not be successful without our team. Our team comes from diversified backgrounds of private equity, development, management, investment banking, and FDI. But not so much as education background, as I'm the only one without a Harvard degree. So just like how angels lists change how angel investors look for the next startups, and how Kickstarters change online reward-based donations. And FundusLinks will change how foreigners invest into overseas real estate. Because we make foreign real estate investment simple. Thank you.
Any questions from our judges?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Now, two questions. One is for people to put money into your system, right? You probably need a pretty good brand or some kind of credibility, right? Even the 10 grand is a big money for small people, right? So this is question one, how to build a brand.
Sure.
Second one is you mentioned that you have like a 51% US investors. So how do you get this 51% match?
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you.
Okay, first question, how to build a brand. I think for a crowdfunding platform like this, I don't know whether they heard of Lending Club. You know, they're very successful in the US right now, but they have some early adopters, and then it's kind of like a mouth-to-mouth, kind of, you know, you get money out of the system, and then you build a brand, and then in the future, you know, people will come into your platform. So I would say there are definitely some early adopters, but I would not assume there will be a ton of people. But after we build the brand, and we actually get the cash out to the investors, and then it's all about reputation, I think. And regarding the second question, actually real estate investment is a very capital-intensive business, and I work in the real estate private equity business, and most of our investment, we hold less than 50%. And just like a recent acquisition, just for example, like Johnson just bought like 50% of the GM building in New York, and that's very common. That's why a restructure. And so it's very common that you have diversified capital source from the operators, and you have 50% or more coming from the United States. That's very commonplace in the real estate investment market. So I wouldn't see that's a problem. Thanks.
Just a quick question on liquidity. Let's say I bought into one of these things. Who decides when you sell a piece of property, and what happens when different people have different opinions?
Yep, absolutely. So on our description of the investment, we'll have an expected hold period, for example, like 3 to 5 years or 5 to 7. That's depend on the investment itself, and also whether it's a loan investment or an equity investment. So the operator will decide when to sell, and they are fully aligned with the investor's interest because they are paid to carry interest. So, but investors don't have the liquidity if they want to cash out. But after enough investor base are built up, we have a secondary market. So investors basically can trade the interest of our investors, just like what Lending Club is doing right now.
So my question is, people cannot always make money by buying a house.
Sure.
Maybe the only exception is buying a house in Beijing on this planet. So how is their business going to deal with economic cycles like the decline of house market in US?
Yes, so all the investments comes with risks, that's for sure. There's not a single investment in the world that you can absolutely make money. For the US Treasury, you can make money if US government didn't go bankrupt. So we definitely will warn investors. So that's why we have investment pros and cons. So in case something go bad, and then that's some of the risks that you need to look at. So we cannot guarantee that you're absolutely going to make money, but we will warn our investors upfront. And also, we will have a due diligence on the investments on the FundusLink team ourselves. So it's going to make sure the operators didn't exaggerate the assumptions. We're going to test the vacancy, purchase price, exit assumption to make sure that it's tied to the market. But it always comes with risks. as equity investment. So.
Related to the question, so you know, like a Kickstarter, it's a platform,
right?
So it's like a Schwab, whatever. They don't say you buy this. So you early mentioned you will control whatever due diligence. Then you will have the liability. So is that your study that you say, okay, this is your model, you decided to go take on the liability of each deal instead of a platform? So could you elaborate more on the thoughts on this?
Sure. The reason we want to do the due diligence ourselves is because we don't want to like list every single investment that operators submit to us. We want to find the best of the deals, and we look at the rewards and the risks, because higher returns means higher risks. So we're gonna look at the deals that with the best risk-adjusted returns. So that's why we need to underwrite the operators, make sure they have a good track record, and also make sure the investment is the right one for our investors. Because as a Chinese, you may not want to invest in a property in Ohio or some other places that's in economic recession. So that's why we need to do the due diligence ourselves. But as in terms of liabilities, because we think all investments come as risks, as mentioned, we just provide a different perspective versus the operators, so the investors can decide based on the information we provide.
Last question.
Thank you. Regarding the tax benefit in comparison with LLC, I believe it's not tax really benefit. It's just deferred, right? Based on accounting policy. You cannot really reduce the tax, it's just deferred it.
So via an LLC structure, the LLC actually doesn't pay tax because it's kind of like a transfer of kind of like the entity itself. But actually, as a foreign person, so they're gonna look through the LLC to the person itself. So as a foreign investors, you need to pay that. The jargon term is Foreign Investment Real Property Tax Act of 1980. So before that, foreign persons are treated the same as U.S. persons. But after that, U.S. person need to pay the 35% capital gain tax when they sell the properties. So that's why the difference exists. But if you invest via a REIT structure, because REIT is tax efficient, also for foreigners as well. So you don't need to pay that capital gain tax for foreigners. Based on my understanding, because we have clients from Asia Sovereign Wealth Fund as well, domestically controlled REIT is the most tax efficient structure for them. So, but we have to dig into that in details. Thanks.
Okay, now our judges, please make your score, and I'm wondering who can give FundersLink some comments. Anyone volunteer? Thank you, Anna.
We've looked at a lot of real estate companies lately. I think this is a huge market. So I think you've chosen well. I think you need the trust issue and getting there fast, sure. Getting the competitive advantage, setting up all the barriers, right. Because I think it will be easy for new entrants to enter this business. So securing deal sources, right. Having the best judgment. If you can really create value quickly, I think it's very promising.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now let's look at the score for FundersLink. Still, one judge hasn't provided the score. And the average for FundersLink is 6.0. Congratulations. Thank you. finally, it's the sixth team. Probably their team can make your online shopping a little bit smoother, because when a damaged package is received, it can help identify what the problem is. Let's welcome Berry Logistics.
Hi, my name is Jeff Zhang. I'm one of the co-founders and the chief marketing officer at Berry Logistics. But before I tell you exactly who we are and what we do, I'm going to briefly describe the problem we're trying to solve. This is the problem. This is a FedEx employee delivering a plasma screen television. Outrageous. And it gets even worse. This is a FedEx truck driver redefining what FedEx ground services really means, pushing an oven on a highway. And it's nothing to laugh at. Mishandling is a serious problem with serious pains, the first and foremost of which is loss of time. Everyone loses time when it comes to mishandling. Customers lose time, courier service providers lose time, online retail platforms lose time. You have to complain, you have to argue, you have to send it back, you have to buy a new one. It's crazy. But more importantly, for courier service providers and online retail platforms, you lose customers. When you deliver a damaged product, the customer is simply less likely to come back. And if you're losing time and you're losing customers, there's one thing else, you're also losing money. And not just money from that. When you have to buy a product to replace the old damaged one, that's additional cost and lost revenue. Our solution to mishandling? The Berry Tag. The Berry Tag is a small impact sensor that is about the size of a quarter, and it costs less than that to produce. Using a Berry Tag is simple. You simply apply the Berry Tag to the outside of a product's packaging before it ships, and if during the shipping and handling process it experiences any form of unwarranted impact, the Berry Tag will change color, indicating mishandling. The value proposition of the Berry Tag is very simple. Transparency. The Berry Tag is an objective means of demonstrating to the consumer that their product was handled with the highest level of integrity and quality. More importantly, for courier service providers and online retail platforms, the Berry Tag empowers them with information about their shipping and handling practices within their supply chain they never had access to before. And when you create transparency, what you're really providing is a means for accountability. The Berry Tag is a scientific means of evidence to prove liability for negligent parties and hold them accountable for their negligent practices. And when you combine transparency with accountability, what you're creating is efficiency. The Berry Tag helps streamline damage claims process so that firms can increase workflow. Furthermore, the Berry Tag provides information such that firms like FedEx and Amazon will be able to effectively pinpoint deficiencies within their supply chain and put in corrective measures to prevent them. Ultimately, the Berry Tag saves time, keeps customer, and makes more money. And on that note of making money, how does Berry Logistics make money? The way we see it, the business model is characterized by three key players. Us at Berry Logistics, online retail platforms and courier service providers like Taobao and Sunfeng, and the end user, the mass consumer. We sell Berry Tags at cost to Taobao and Sunfeng for, say, 15 cents a unit. Taobao and Sunfeng then leverage their client base and their brand to sell these at a markup of, say, $1 to the end user. The end user, upon purchasing the Berry Tag, generates revenue for Taobao and Sunfeng, a portion of which will be kicked back to us at Berry Logistics. Now, moving on to the market. The market is huge. There are 18.4 billion packages circulated annually across the world. Of that 18.4 billion, 8.8 is generated by China alone. Of course, not all 8.8 billion packages need the Berry Tag. Some items simply aren't impact sensitive. Take clothing, for example. So of that 8.8 billion, we've narrowed it down to 192 million packages in consumer electronics, home appliances, and auto parts that are highly impact sensitive. And of that 192 million, we've narrowed it down to the 77 million in home appliances where we've received internal data where the highest incidence of damage occurs. Now, moving on to our financials. This is our 5-year sales forecast that we've developed jointly with the professors at the University of Michigan Ross Business School. Without going into too much detail about the math behind the sales model, the key takeaway is that we'll be net profit positive by our second year, and that moving forward, with scale, we can experience exponential growth. Now, with such lucrative opportunities, we're not the only one in the competitive space. Meet our competitor, Shockwatch. They are the category leaders in the impact sensor industry. They retail 7 million units annually at a price of $3 a unit. But they only detect forces across 2 effective axes and are not shake sensitive. And quite simply, we're better. We only retail for $1 a unit, detect forces across all 3 axes, and are shake sensitive. So we're better and cheaper than the category leader in a proven market. But that is only the second biggest reason why you should invest in us. The biggest reason why? The team. Take our lead industrial designer, for example. Jackie. Jackie is both a Red Dot and IF Design Award recipient. He has been featured in numerous magazines and is a highly successful designer. And Bo Cao, he has over 4 years of extensive experience working at Target Plastics, the world's 5th largest injection molding firm. And our CEO, Sean Su, is in addition to inventing and pioneering the technology behind the BerryTag, has won over 23 entrepreneurial awards back in Taiwan. But let's not talk credentials. Let's talk deliverables. In the past 4 months alone, this team has built the BerryTag from conceptualization to a functional prototype to setting up a fully functional manufacturing line back in Taiwan with a monthly capacity of 10,000 units. For our efforts, we've received national recognition at the Taipei International Invention and Technomart Conference, where we placed gold. On top of that, we've already negotiated formal agreements with early adopters in PC Home, Taiwan's largest online retail platform, for trial use of the BerryTag in the volume of 30,000 units in their home appliances division across 3 months. We've also negotiated a similar agreement with D-Link, the world's largest router manufacturer, for 15,000 units across 2 months. And by summer of next year, we want to be able to do a full-scale launch where we aggressively target big brands like Taobao, like Sunfeng, like Amazon, and FedEx. We understand this is an ambitious goal. That's why, moving forward, we are looking forward for active mentors and investors with intimate knowledge of the e-commerce and logistics industries that will join us in our entrepreneurial journey. We are young and we are hungry. Berry Logistics, thank you. I would like to yield the questions.
I have a quick question. So you mentioned Taobao, you mentioned Amazon. Which market do you see the biggest opportunity, US or China or Taiwan?
We actually currently see that the US is actually a more mature market. There are actually a lot more packages being sold in the US that needs the BerryTag. Home appliances account for about 13% of the market share in the United States, while only 4% in China. But given that, we see a huge upside in China. They don't trust their shipping process, and we believe by utilizing the BerryTag, we can help change that. We can generate revenue, and we can gain consumer confidence.
Yeah, I think this BerryTag is very interesting, and we know Taobao and Shunfeng very well, so can help you with the business development there. 2 questions. One is that how many units will be required to make the $1 selling price? And the second question is that right now there are a lot of online shipping insurance, and it's becoming very popular because of exactly some of the issues that you mentioned. So how do you see that impacting the potential future growth or size of the market that you could address?
So our current cost of manufacturing is at 30 cents. And this is given that we're only manufacturing at 10,000 units a month currently. What we plan to do with investments is that we want to open up 2 additional fully automated manufacturing lines and can give us 200,000 units a month. And that will effectively lower our cost to about 5 cents each. And could you remind me what your second question was again? We actually see ourselves as a tool to shipping insurance. We believe that we can actually effectively streamline the claims process and allow an easier measure of demonstrating negligence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think this is a very interesting project. Only one question. The entry barrier, right? Again, for a smart MIT people here, they can probably do a simple one like yours quickly. So how do you protect your IP, and how do you create enough entry barrier?
So I would divide that question to answer into 3 parts. Firstly, we already applied for a full utility patent, and we're currently in the process of filing for foreign utilities once our patent is issued in the United States. Second of all, through strategic sourcing, we have actually secured a very, very price competitive for suppliers. So we've mentioned Plastics Logic. It's the 5th largest. They're willing to supply us through our personal network at very, very competitive cost for manufacturing. And finally, our team is not just we're not currently only focusing on our BerryTag alone. We are wanting to improve our product. And through what we mean by that is we're going to further develop our quality control through automatically ocular inspection. which we've already secured a manufacturer to kind of develop the process with us. So I hope that answers your question.
So I like your company. I'm a little bit concerned about the $25 million revenue projection in year 5, and I'm just wondering, as an investor, how can you get me more excited about the future potential of the company?
So the $25 million is based upon an S-curve predictor. So it's assuming that there are 2 stages of adoption, and it's also assuming that we have 450,000 units sold in the first year. I don't know how to excite you more other than $25 million, but I can make you feel more assured, because if we can, our bare minimum of sales that we're targeting is 450,000 units. And if we can achieve that, and assuming only an S&P annual growth of 2.88%, we can break even by year 5.
How do you see, I mean, what would a sort of more plateau revenue be, like, get to a certain scale? What do you think?
According to the model that we're using, our plateau current revenue is set fairly low. We're seeing only about $121 million as our plateau, assuming a 30-year maturation. So we believe the market's greater, but we try to be more conservative in terms of our estimates.
So I was wondering if there is any user directly perceived value of the battery tag, because eventually the consumer will pay for this. So
yeah, to answer that question, I think the demonstration in terms of that your product was handled carefully is very important to the consumer, especially after seeing those videos and those comments below those videos about how they'll never use FedEx or UPS again, or the numerous groups on Facebook, UPS sucks, Facebook sucks, FedEx sucks, and like variations of those groups. We believe that there's definitely a risk-averse consumer out there who wants to hold their courier service provider and their online retail platform more accountable. And a lot of the times what happens is that things like the oven being pushed on the highway, it's not like FedEx mandated the driver to say, hey, go push an oven on a highway. It's an independent contractor who does negligence on his own, and FedEx and UPS also want to be able to hold those people accountable too, I think.
Just on the question of accountability, I think that a lot of people would possibly try to pass the buck. How do you locate where the impact happened and under whose sort of kind of responsibility?
Well, I mentioned the automatic ocular inspection, which is how we plan to implement this in supply chains. We plan to actually have these devices on the supply chain conveyor belts, and if the battery tag color changes color during a specific segment, we can locate that segment as the pain point immediately. So that's how we are going to assign accountability.
Also, the way packages are delivered across the country, it's not simply from point A to B, it's from point A to Z, and there's a lot of intermediary points in between. And using the battery tag, you'd be able to isolate at least down to which leg in the supply chain it was the pain happened, and you'd be able to narrow down your search by much, much more than what you're currently able to do.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. And for the judges, please make the final decision. So this is the most exciting moment right now. And any judges, please, do you want to comment on this one?
Yeah, I think personally, this is the most promising team this afternoon. I really like this one. The product actually addresses the real needs. We invest in Taobao, right? It does have this situation, this thing, shipment get lost and get impacted. So I think if you can enhance this product, increase the whatever the technology side, yeah.
For the audience, please be quiet. Okay, we are going to have our final score.
I think it's good. Just in the one is execution, push it quick enough to grab enough market. Second one, if you could build enough entry barrier. Yeah. Good one, very good.
Wow, this 没有，我们现在会继续。OK，哇。 So I think we have our winner today, which will be Berry Logistics. Congratulations! Please welcome. Please, would love Alan Song to be our guest of honor to award for the award ceremony. Yes, please. And we have a 10,000 cash check going for the winner. Berry Logistics, please come to the stage. Alan? Yeah. Careful. And here comes to our check. This check, this 10,000 US dollar cash prize will be presented by our co-president, Han Chen and Pei Qi. Congratulations, Berry Logistics.
Congratulations to our first prize winner, and second prize is screeners and television. Can screeners and television come to the front stage?
And so please, screeners, television, please come to the stage. Television, green arts, please.
Eileen and Anna, would you mind coming to give the rewards?
And our third prize will go for, thank you. So our third prize will go with ZA Power, Mobile CRM, Founders Link.
Can these three teams come to the front? Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, so Patrick, Hale, do you mind to please represent MIT to give the final, like the third prize reward to the winner? Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Now it will be the InnoSpring Incubator Awards. You haven't seen the team name here because Eugene and Jinling from TEAK Angel Fund and InnoSpring will announce the winner on site now. Would you mind come to the stage?
Just a quick word. There are many people say investors, when they see a hot deal, everybody chased. So it happened that we scored the Berry Logistics the highest. So we like to present this award to them.
And so Berry Logistics, please come to the stage.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we are very glad to be here. This is my second year here. I work with my colleague Jing Ling, representing Tigan Fund. I represent InnoSpring, the first U.S.-China startup incubator. Very glad to be here. We provide mentorship and seed funding, and then the co-work space. We do everything that can be helpful for a startup to grow. And of course, we are located in Silicon Valley. Yeah, welcome everybody to go there. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jing. Now can we have all judges come to the front stage? All our teams would like to express their appreciation and thank you to the judges.